What is up, guys? Ryan G here with my very famous guest, Jasxon, the Machine, Thomas. How are you, Jax?
Good.
You're good. Okay. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay. Jax was all over this. For being the shyest kid that I have, he was all over. He's like, yes, I want to be on the live stream. It's going to be awesome. So let's see. We got, what's up, Michelle? What's up, Will? Will is in guitar. Cutter. Whatever. However you want to say it. Dan, the Machine. What do you think about your nickname, the Machine? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Should we get it tattooed on your back? The Machine? No? I'm pretty sure I could find a guy. You could do it in your van or something. The Moo Sheen. Okay. What's up, Dustin? What's up, Tom Cigars? Oop, Tiffany's texting me, which means I'm probably... Mary's going to share a link. Okay. Forgot to tell you. Okay. All right. So, yes, Mary, our amazing admin in the women's concealed carry group. She's going to be sharing a link in here. And Mary, we will put it in the description later so that, a couple thousand people will see it. So as soon as she puts that in, that'd be great. Rescue 29, what's up? Try to buy a tactical pen from us, but can't ship to Canada. Yeah, that sucks. You got to move to a amazing country like America. So people are asking about Tiff. Jax, we're trying to decide if we're going to let mom get better or if we're just going to put her down. You know what that means?
No.
Just let her die. How is mom feeling? Not good? Florida? Mom's feeling better, but she definitely is in a lot of pain. Like I saw her take a shower today and she's like rough, man. Like she's got a lot of big bruises and stuff. Have you seen it?
Yeah, she had tons of bruises.
Tons of bruises,
a
yeah.
Massive one.
Massive bruise on her armpit. It's pretty crazy. So that's the last time she mouths off to dad, right? I'm teasing. That is domestic abuse is never okay. So Katura says you have a women's concealed carry group. Yes, we do. It is on Facebook. There's a link right there from Mary. Join the group, ladies. It is awesome. It's only women in the group. So you can ask whatever questions you need to ask and do whatever you need to do. So Michelle says, what happened to Tiffany? Tiffany got a tummy tuck. She got a breast lift, not implant. She got a breast lift. That happened last Sunday. And she's just very sore, still recuperating and stuff. Hardest part has been food. Like I went in the room the other day and Tiffany's like, you've lost weight. And I was like, yeah, I'm freaking dying. Like I'm eating bags of Cheetos and stuff over here. Like I need, Dustin, Tiff's cool. She's fine. She's been wanting to get this stuff done. And, I wanted to, make sure she's happy. So she got it done. Canik Bill says, Ryan, love the show Wednesday on Clubhouse. Everybody should go to the show at 5 p.m. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It was really neat. If you guys are not on Clubhouse yet, you should sign up. I've been consuming it a lot. Clubhouse is basically like a live stream. However, instead of you guys being able to type your comments, you guys can actually just turn on your microphone and talk. Have you been on Clubhouse? No, because you're only 7. So it's really neat. We're going to do it every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's really awesome. And it's a lot of fun. Good groove. That's where all my money has been going. Yeah, pretty much, Dustin. She's got to keep it tight for me, right? She's got to keep it tight. Yeah, 5 o'clock. Hope she feels better soon. Yep, she's doing good. Is there video on Clubhouse? Nope, Mary, it's just audio. So it's pretty neat. And you know what's neat about it is the audio doesn't exist forever. Like as soon as you stop, nobody can re-listen to what you just said. So it's interesting. Like I was listening to one yesterday about real estate and this guy's like baby started crying and he's like, oh shoot, I got to deal with the baby and turned his mic off real quick. So it's pretty raw. It's pretty real, which is pretty neat. Hey, how often should I clean my Canik pistol? How often should they clean their gun, Jax? How often? Once a day? Once a week?
Oh,
Should they clean it like maybe after they go shooting?
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably just after you shoot it. You're probably not going to shoot your gun a lot, maybe once a week. Just shoot it. You know, frankly, if it takes you more than 5 minutes to clean your gun, a handgun, you're wasting a lot of time. So 5 minutes is pretty quick. Just get it done. Yeah, Drew says when it's dirty. You know, I don't clean my guns very often, but they also get shot a lot. Michael says after every trip to the range. Yep, that's fair. That's easy. Allery says once a year. That might be cutting it. That might be cutting it a little bit close. Yeah, right after shooting it is usually the best. Okay, so Evan says, in Florida, if rioters are outside your business, like in my recent videos, what are the laws on the use of force? You know, if the rioters are just outside of the business, there really isn't much you can do. You know, Governor Ron DeSantis passed some new bills that if they're looting a business within 500 feet of a riot, I believe, then you're allowed to use or threaten the use of deadly force to stop that person. You know, the biggest thing you can do in a rioting kind of situation is posturing. So making sure you're out there, your window's already boarded up, you're out there, making sure they know that you're not going to go down easy. But it's a high emotion moment. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah?
Yeah.
What would you do, Jax, if like our Brandon office at our business, if somebody said, I don't like you, I'm going to wreck your business and I'm going to burn it down? What do you think Dad should do? Not sure? Should we call the police?
Yeah.
Okay. Should we shoot them? No. Nope, we don't want to do that. So anyway. Did that actually pass? Yep, it did pass. The part that was kind of taken away from that bill, it's called the anti-mob legislation, is initially they said that if protesters are standing in traffic, you're allowed to run them over. That the wording is very blonde down quite a bit. So it definitely doesn't say that. So anyway. Okay, Joe says, what do you this is to Jackson. What do you recommend kids do first when they learn about guns? Like, what's the most important thing a kid could do about it with a gun? What should a kid do if they find a gun at a friend's house or something like that?
Stop. Don't touch. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, no.
Close. Stop. Don't touch.
Run away and tell a grown-up.
Run away and tell a grown-up. Good. Is it ever okay for a kid, like if you find a gun in Daddy's office or in Daddy's truck, is it ever okay to touch it? Okay, let me ask you this question, because you're going to school tomorrow, right? What grade are you going into?
Second.
Second grade. So what would you do if one of your new friends at school came up and said, hey, Jax, come look at my backpack. I brought my dad's gun from school or from home. What should you do if a friend brings a gun to school?
I would run and tell the teacher.
Run and tell the teacher.
Or tell the police guard. Whoever's close.
Good. Or any grown-up, right? Yeah. Just tell somebody. What if the friend says, if you tell somebody, I'm going to hurt you?
I should still run and just
still tell them, right? Because it doesn't matter. You got to tell them. And you know, it's an important conversation that we got to have with our kids. It's not something we want to talk about. I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, like the first week of school for kids, the school board played like a video of what to do during an active shooting for the kids. And I remember do your teachers talk about that? Like what to do if a bad guy comes with a gun and tries to hurt people?
I mean, sometimes they put on a screen, yeah.
They put it on TV and watch a video or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. So a bunch of parents freaked out, said you shouldn't talk to my kid about that. I disagree. I think we should talk to our kids about it. I think they need to know what to do and what not to do when a kid brings a gun to school. It's a big deal. Let's see. So Katura says, great job, Jackson. Oh, no, I did not hear that one. Okay. Let's see. Great job, Dad, for teaching the kids. Okay, thanks, Canik Bill. Lie and so okay and tell away. Okay. I don't know what to say without Tiff here. Are you saying that me? I don't know what to say. That's pretty funny. Nice M&P. That law is for the people. Okay, Mary said she sang that song too. I got that song like burned in my head, Mary. It will always be there. Yep, so Tiffany's here in the chats if you guys want to kind of hang out with her. I tried to get her to come down, but she wouldn't do it because she's selfish. Mom's selfish, right? No. What's your favorite gun to shoot with us when we go to the range? What guns do you like to shoot? Talk a little closer. What's it called? The sniper rifle. So it's a Ruger 1022 that me and Jasxon built. Did you build it with us? No, it was Lincoln that built it. Yeah, but you like that one. So it's got a nice bipod, a nice optic. It's pretty sweet. So John says, I raised my granddaughter since she was 4, and she would never touch my guns. I trained her to shoot and a bow. Yeah, you know, I've said this a couple times, but I had a student, I had 2 groups of students in a class a couple months ago. One woman said her dad had a ton of guns. There were guns like everywhere in the house, and she never talked to the kids about guns, never told them not to touch them. And she said, what do you think about this, Jax? When the mom and dad would leave, the kids would take the guns and they would play with them and like point them at each other and stuff like that. Do you think that's okay? No. Should you ever touch a gun without mom or dad watching you? No. Never. And then the other side of the coin was a guy who said that his dad had a ton of guns, talked to them all the time about gun safety, but never actually let them touch the guns. Do you guys touch the guns? Yeah, with me. Do you guys look at them and hold them and stuff? When dad buys a new gun, do you guys look at it and hold it and point it and stuff? Yeah. I think they need to handle it. I think it's very silly to try to hide guns from kids because they are going to be exposed to them one day. It's going to happen, right? And I want to make sure that they actually know what to do and what not to do. It's a pretty big deal. Tiff, does it hurt to laugh? Yeah, it hurts Tiffany just to like get up to go to the bathroom. And she sent me she's got like, what is that toilet thing that mommy has? It's like a granny toilet, right? Yeah. It's like a thing that's got arm bars or whatever. So I took it down, and I was in a meeting earlier today, and I got a text from Tiff, and she's like, what the hell? You didn't put the toilet thing back on the toilet seat. She's like, how am I supposed to do this now? So it was pretty funny. Okay, let's see. I've had all 3 of my kids take the Tampa Carry course. Awesome. Yeah, so Mary's talking about the Expert's Guide to Kids and Guns, which is an amazing course for parents, for kids. Lincoln's right there? Yeah, hiding. Amazing course for kids and for parents to really make sure that you understand how to talk to your kids about gun safety. It's a pretty big deal. Let's see. Any big questions? Will says software update. I need to get with you guys next time I'm in town. Yep, we need to take you out to dinner, man. That'd be great. Tiff, at least you're able to chat. You know a woman can never stop speaking. Oh, the Beginner's Guide to Firearms. Mary took the Beginner's Guide to Firearms with her kids. That's awesome. I didn't know any kids that took it yet, but I think that's great. It is a course that is very valuable for anybody, whether you're kids or not. And yeah, I went shooting with some students today with the Beginner's Guide. And in fact, on Friday or Saturday, I went with this woman. And the first time, Jasxon, so she had the gun, she picked it up in her hand, and the guy that was next to us shot his gun, and it scared her so much that she started crying. What do you think? She was so scared, and I said, put the gun down, and I rubbed her back, and I said, it's okay, I'm going to protect you. And then I made everybody else stop shooting, and I said, just you're going to shoot. And we made her go for it. And then afterwards, she said, if you wouldn't have made me keep shooting, she said, I would have left. And I said, I know you would have. And what's funny is afterwards, she was doing great. But in that beginning, that first couple shots, she was so scared that she would have quit. And she probably never would have shot a gun again, which is not good, right? We want her to keep shooting. Let's see. Placid Saint says, new bill introduced to ban all semi-autos that accept a detachable magazine. Yep, whoop-de-frickin-do. This is the nonsense that they keep on kind of pushing. Even though I saw this this congresswoman who's been really pushing this defund the police movement. Defund the police. You know, we don't need the police are bad. And she spent $70,000 hiring private security to protect her, mostly off-duty police officers. So it's the same stuff, right? Like they say we should not have semi-automatic guns with detachable magazines because we can't be trusted. But they all have private security with semi-automatic firearms with detachable magazines that are mostly fully automatic because their safety is important. Okay, so Trey says, in the event of a mass shooting as a concealed carry holder, am I allowed to engage and fire with the suspect? Yeah, of course you are. I mean, so let's see if I got this pulled up here. Maybe I don't have it. So as long as the requirements in this statute right here, the justified use of force statute, are being met, which means you have a reasonable belief of imminent death, great bodily harm, or the imminent commission of forcible felony against yourself or someone around you, the use of deadly force is necessary, you're not committing a crime and you're in a place that you have a right to be, then you have just as much right to engage that threat, that bad guy, as the person that the bad guy is actually shooting at. Got my Area 51 sign with the money you sent back to... Okay, awesome. They want to be the only ones with guns. Yeah, that's the question, Troy, is they already know that gun control doesn't work. If gun control worked, California, Chicago, Baltimore, D.C., and New York would be the safest places on the planet. But they're not. They're freaking war zones. Why? Because the police cannot be everywhere at once, nor do we want them to be. And the bad guys are not afraid of the people that are out there. At least in Florida, the bad guys got to really think, hey, if I go try to steal that lady's purse, there's a 50% chance she's got a handgun in that purse, and she might just kill me. I kind of like the fact that bad guys know that they might die here in Florida. And frankly, I think the way that we can stop a lot of this violent crime is instead of showing the video of the bad guy that went and shot and killed people, why don't we show the video of the Good Samaritan killing the bad guy so that bad guys know we're not going to take your crap. We are going to defend ourselves. Okay, so hey from Bonita Springs, what is up? Get well soon. Lefties love gun control. There's some conservatives that like gun control too. I think it's a mindset thing. I think it's a lack of education. But it's the same thing like Jackson School. Let's just talk about this COVID-19 thing for a second, which may piss some of you guys off, but frankly, I don't care. It doesn't really matter. We get a email from Jackson School saying that face masks are mandatory for all kids when they go to school tomorrow, okay? We already know that kids do not get COVID-19. They don't die from COVID-19 at a high level. So kids mandatory have to wear a face mask, but teachers, administrators, and parents, it's optional to wear a face mask. That is like completely ass backwards. So the parents are the ones that are at risk of getting COVID and getting really sick from COVID. Children are not. So why are we making them suffer? Paisley was telling me today, did this happen to you last year? You had to wear a face mask all year last year, right? Yeah. Paisley said last year she was taking a test and she had a runny nose and she wasn't allowed to blow her nose or maybe she was just too afraid to, but her nose was just running in the face mask and she couldn't get it out. And it was just like messy, gushy all day. Did that ever happen to you?
It happened to someone else.
It did? With like a bunch of snot in your face mask? Ugh, it's gross. I don't like it. Yeah, time to homeschool. I agree. I hope DeSantis does something, Placid Saint, with this whole face mask thing. I think it is absolutely ridiculous. The government is out of control, and I just don't know if we can ever get this power back. They have a taste for tyrannical power, and I don't know if we'll ever get it back. Okay, so Byron says, can you travel with a firearm? So can you bring a gun on an airplane? Yeah. So I travel with guns all the time. I haven't been traveling this last year and a half, actually, but normally I do when I go to SHOT Show, when I go to shooting courses or conferences, whatever, I always bring a gun. And the process is very simple. So I have the handgun inside of a TSA-approved case. By law, the ammunition has to be in the original packaging that you purchase the ammunition in, or in packaging specifically designed to transport ammunition. It's like a hard little reloading case or something like that. So I just put it in my thing. When I go to the airport, I say, hey, I'd like a firearm declaration card. That's a subtle way of telling the workers, hey, I got a gun in my bag. They're going to have you fill out a little card, bring you to a TSA area. It's so fast and so easy to bring a gun on a plane now that I don't even give myself extra time. It's just really, really simple. So don't be afraid by it. I've got lots of videos that explain it. It's pretty easy. I'm so glad my 2 girls we have in this country. Okay. Yes. Homeschooling, really the best answer. We cannot handle homeschooling. Paisley is going to a different school, a private school this year. And, the owner of this private school said your children will not wear face masks. And what was also awesome, we probably should read this email. We got a letter or an email from the principal or the owner of this school. And he said, it is mandatory for children to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. He said it is not optional for any teacher, parent, or kid to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I thought that was awesome. Paisley said last year, did you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Do you guys do the Pledge of Allegiance? Yeah? How many kids stand up?
There's supposed to be everyone.
So everybody stands up?
I mean, some people sit down, but it's bad when
some people sit down. It is bad because your district, like we have, you know, your grandpa was in the military, right? Or your great grandpa. My grandpa was in the military. Daddy was in the military. Most of my uncles and aunts and stuff were in the military. This is a big deal. People died so that we could live in the freedom that we have here. And when those kids sit down in your class, what they're saying is, I don't care about any of that. I think that's rude. What do you think? Yeah? Okay. No pledge equals disrespectful. Yeah. Yeah, Paisley said she was actually afraid to stand up last year because she was the only kid standing up. And she said, you know, I feel bad because I'm the only one standing up. And I said, Paisley, those other kids even Paisley's teacher wouldn't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I said, Paisley, all of those other people in your class, all those other kids, that teacher, they're the ones that should feel bad. They're the ones that are not smart enough to understand what people have to go through to live in an amazing country like America. I literally had a student the other day that came here from Cuba just a few years ago. And I said to him, how did you get here? How'd you get here from Cuba? And he said, Ryan, I was able to pay somebody to get on a fishing boat that brought him to Mexico. From Mexico, he walked across the U.S. border and then was able to claim asylum or whatever and get established here in the United States. People don't, if America is so bad, people wouldn't be doing that to get here. People would be leaving, but that's not the way it works. Yeah, of course, Platts is saying America has its problems, but it is still the greatest country in the world. Tell her to go ahead and stand. If you need a hand, I'll drive from Orlando. Yeah, I appreciate it, Brian. So, you know, it's important to... It's very easy to do what the rest of the crowd is doing, right? We all know this. It's very easy to do what the crowd is doing. It takes guts to do what nobody else wants to do. It takes guts to say what nobody else wants to say. And, yeah, we got to raise our kids in the way that they should go so that they respect our country and understand that America is a place based on opportunity. You work hard. You know what? I love immigrants because immigrants know how bad things are in other countries. There's a reason people from India come here and they start a business, a gas station, whatever it is, and they prosper and make a ton of money. Because in India, you can't do that. In India, you're very regulated in what's possible. But here, it's really based on how hard you're willing to work, which is awesome, right? Okay. Jax is like, this is way too. What's up, Ting Ting? Be a leader, not a follower. Yep. Arthur, my dad served in the Army in Vietnam War. Uncle served Army Marines. Cool. That's awesome. I went shooting with this guy not too long ago. And I asked him, I said, hey, an older dude, right? I said, hey, sir, you ever shot a gun before? And he said, last time I shot a gun was in Vietnam War. I was shooting a man. And I was like, wow, so last time he shot a gun, he was in war and he was shooting at a bad guy. How crazy is that? Scary? Okay. Classic American mutt. I'm all for legal immigration. Yeah. What do we care? We want people to come here. Too bad we can't just get rid of the people that don't want to be here easily. That would be awesome. Okay, I lived in the Keys, saw the boats Cuban fled from. Trust me, America is beautiful. Yep, I know. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. And I think a lot of the people that complain about how terrible America is, I would bet most of them have never left America. Most of them think that this is real oppression. You don't know what oppression is. You know, I heard this story of this Cuban dude just came here, and he said he went to a Publix, and he was blown away. Said, I've never seen this much food before. Guy said, I've heard about apples. I've never seen an apple before. That's pretty wild. You know, we take that stuff for granted in America, but there are people that have never been full before. Did you know that, Jax? So, like, you eat food until you're full, and you can't eat anymore, right? Yeah. Do you know that there are grown-ups, daddy's age, that have never been full? They've never eaten enough food to not want more food. Does that make sense? No. It doesn't make sense. It's because in the country that they live in, they just don't have enough food. And, you know, some countries, like in Africa, the kids are so hungry that they eat dirt just to try to fill up their stomach with dirt so that they're not in pain. Is that sad or what? Yeah, but that's what you got to do. They eat bugs and all that kind of stuff because they don't have any other food. We're very lucky. We have refrigerators full of food. We have a huge pantry full of food. Mom buys food like twice a week. But most people in the world don't have that. Crazy, right? Okay. Let's see. Yes. My dad was in Vietnam. Cool. He's a high school graduate. Third world country. Yep. Okay. Trey says recommendations on what to do on a traffic stop when you have your weapon on you. The big thing, Trey, is you just got to be aware that the police don't know you. So I think now, according to Florida law, you are not required to tell police that you have a firearm on you. I have the story. I tell it on YouTube. You can watch that video. But a cop saw my concealed carry permit in my wallet, and he freaked out, started screaming at me, "Where's the effing gun? Where is it? Where is it?" And I was pretty scared. So after that, and all he saw was my concealed carry permit in my wallet. After that happened, I said, I am not going to get shot by some rookie cop because he saw plastic in my wallet. So I prefer to just disclose the fact that I have a gun to the police immediately. Wouldn't you guys agree there's a right and a wrong way to tell police that you have a gun? Do you agree?
I have no clue.
You have no clue what I'm saying? That's okay. When that cop walks up to your car, what's the first thing they normally ask? Normally, they're going to say license and registration. So I like to say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. But before I do that, I just want to let you know I have a carry permit and I do have a firearm on me. They're going to ask you where the gun is located. And then you need to tell them, this is the hard part, without moving. You know, Trey, that you're a good person. So the cop says, hey, where's the gun? And people go, oh, it's right here. Well, that's how you get shot. Does that make sense? If a cop's talking to you, should we touch a gun? No, of course not. So you just got to tell the cop, it's in my appendix or it's in my waistband, whatever. And then normally the cop will say, just don't touch it. All right. So just be very cautious. The cops don't know you. Cops have a terrible job. They deal with scumbag, evil people every single day, and their lives are on the line. And they don't know whether you're a good guy or whether you're a bad guy, which is why they treat everybody very, very carefully. So just be careful. Let's see. Sad but true. Our kids in the U.S. do not see the past. Don't see the past the iPad these days. Yep, I agree. Yeah, Trey, definitely buy my book, Florida Concealed Carry Law. It'll answer a lot of those questions and tell a lot of stories that will kind of help you through that. Links in the description somewhere. When my oldest gets too picky for dinner, I show her those poverty videos. Mary, I think that's great. And then it helps her appreciate the meal that she has. You know, I'm very guilty of this, all right? Very guilty. I try to be grateful, but like in business and stuff like that, our businesses are very successful. We're definitely far more successful than most people in America or in the world. But Tiffany knows this. I'll get depressed and I'll be like, oh, I want our business to do better, or I want to start doing this and doing this and whatever. And I start getting down on myself like I'm not accomplishing enough. And then she's like, Ryan, will you just look at our beautiful house? Look at the fact that we have no debt. Look at the fact that we don't have to worry about stuff. And just be grateful for that. We have to look at our lives and be grateful for what we have, because complaining about all the other stuff just causes too much stress, causes too much pressure, and never helps you get anywhere. Okay, so Ting Ting says, when I was a young girl in my village, I had a job to pick up duck and chicken eggs, okay? Feed the ducks and take them to the pond before I went to school. So the boys have to take the dogs for a walk before you go to school, right?
I did not know that.
You didn't know that? Yeah, Paisley was asking me this morning. She's like, do we still have to do that before school? And I was like, yep. What can you imagine taking the ducks for a walk? No? Okay. Making money, online sports betting. Okay. Probably not a very sustainable, scalable business model. Play a certain way, so I get to play for free. Okay. It's because U.S. history isn't being taught in school anymore. I think there's definitely an agenda. The agenda is to make Americans dumber. And the dumber you make Americans, the more control you have over Americans. And I think that's part of the strategy. What's up, Kathy? Justin, your book is fantastic. Shamelessly haven't read a book start to finish in over 10 years. I read your book in 3 days. Awesome. That's really good. I try to make it easy to read. It's talking about the law. Law can be very boring, but I try to keep everything that we do pretty engaging and pretty entertaining. I have a new book that I just finished. I'm waiting for Tiffany to get better so she can actually format it and get it into print. It is called Florida Concealed Carry, Shoot or Don't Shoot. So it is an entire book just filled with shoot or don't shoot scenarios. And I break down, why each decision is a good idea or why it's a bad idea. So it's pretty exciting. We'll probably offer them, if you buy the Florida Concealed Carry for an extra $10 or whatever, you got the other one. It's pretty neat. Okay, Mario says I have to teach my kids common sense because schools won't. Yeah, I agree. I heard today there's a mom that is getting sued by the school board. I think she's in Texas, because the mom keeps asking the school board, what are you teaching my daughter? And the school board is pissed off. They don't want to tell the mom what they're teaching. I think that is very scary, very shocking. Dang, I can't believe I gotta go all the way to Georgia for me to have my freedom to purchase a gun. I can only buy long guns there. Okay, I need a little more context on that one, bud. Okay, I carry my driver's license, registration, insurance card in a separate wallet in my vest pocket, so I'll never have to reach my compartment. Okay, smart, very smart. Cool. Let's see. Have you seen panhandlers on the exit entry quarters of Walmart supercenters? Sometimes they are one or a family of four. I've seen that. With a sign asking for food, money. Is it legit or not? It's difficult to tell. Will, this is a topic that I have struggled with for a very long time. For a long time, I gave money to every person that asked me. So if a homeless person asked me and needed some money, I would always give them money. Then I started getting a little bit bitter, and I started saying I'm not going to give money to homeless people because I know that they're just going out there and buying drugs, buying alcohol, whatever. I was doing my Bible study in the morning the other day, and I don't remember what chapter or what verse, but Jesus was saying, give to everyone that asks. And I just thought, how foolish I've been, because the act of giving money to a homeless person, to that family, whatever, it's not about what they do with the money. It doesn't. So if we give money to a homeless person, Jax, it doesn't matter what that person does with the money. What matters is that the homeless person knows that this is God giving it. I'll tell you guys a quick little story. So I was at a Wawa gas station. I had just left my Brandon concealed carry class, and I was on my way to Tampa. Stopped to get gas, and this woman was going to each person at the pump, and she said that she worked for a homeless charity or whatever, and she was like gathering money. So she was asking Daddy to give money for homeless whatever. God said to me, put your hand in your pocket, grab money, and however much money's in your hand, give it to the woman. So I reached my hand in my pocket, and I grabbed, it was a handful of money, and I just put it on top of her clipboard and said, here you go, God bless you. The look on this woman's face was like she was shocked, because most people were telling her, no, I'm not going to give you any money. God said it to me, and it's my responsibility to do what we're supposed to do, right? So, and I think that's it. I am making it a rule now to just give to anybody that's asking for money. If it's a homeless guy, if it's a family at the gas station, whatever, it just doesn't matter. Our job is to bless other people, and what they choose to do with that blessing is irrelevant. So hopefully that helps answer your question. Florida won't let me buy a gun at 18, and in December 2nd, I turn 18, and I want to buy a gun for self-defense. Florida, my age for buying a gun is 21, so I have to go to Georgia where I can buy long guns. Hey, David, so you're allowed to buy a handgun, a rifle, or a shotgun at the age of 18 in the state of Florida. It is 100% legal. I have a blog post on the Tampa Carry blog that you guys can check out. If you guys are not subscribed to the Tampa Carry blog, I post a ton of stuff on there. So yeah, you're just not allowed to buy a gun from a gun dealer. But at the age of 18, you're allowed to buy a firearm legally through a private sale. Or somebody's allowed to give you a gun as a gift. What do you think about that? Trying to keep him involved. I love Wawa because when I get gas, I can order a sub. You know, I only ate at Wawa once, and I thought, damn, this is really good. But, yeah, maybe I should do that next time. I eat at Subway every Saturday on the way to my Tampa class. Order the same thing. It's pretty easy. Okay, I always look around the car for whatever food, water supplies I have. Yep. Wyatt, yeah, you know. I remember when our gun store was closing, I remember how stressed I was. I remember how overwhelmed I was. I really felt like I couldn't come back from this. And listen, our gun store didn't fail hard. I made some big mistakes. I lost a lot of money. But Tiff will tell you, I was depressed. I didn't think that I would ever be able to have a successful business. I just really thought that I had totally failed. And we all go through those moments in life, right? And it takes somebody who doesn't owe you anything coming up and saying, you're going to get through this. If you try and if you put your right foot forward and you take the necessary actions, you can get through this disappointing thing that you're in right now. And the only way that I made it through that time is I started going once a week for breakfast with my pastor, Pastor Carl, who's an amazing person. And he would just be that little person to say, hey, you're going to make it through. This is going to be okay, whatever. So maybe we can be that person to that homeless dude, homeless family sitting on the side of the road. Hey, here's $20, but your life is not going to get better until you take action to actually fix your life. So yeah, anyway. The milkshakes at Wawa rock. We should go get milkshakes at Wawa. You want to? A slushie? You guys have to go to bed. You're supposed to be in bed right now, aren't you? No. 7:30? 8:30?
No, it was supposed to be at 8:30.
8:30, you got to go to bed. Okay.
You're allowed to watch.
You're allowed to watch for a little bit. Mary says, Wawa, biscuits and gravy. Rescue 29, he lives in Canada. So by Uncle Ryan. I carry my pellet gun on me most trips out of town. Canada doesn't have gun laws. Do you guys know what Canada is doing? Canada is not even allowing residents to travel across provinces, so states. If you live in the Manitoba province, you are not allowed to leave the Manitoba province. How crazy is that because of COVID?
Dad,
what?
When is the live going to be done?
You can leave if you want.
No, when is it going to be done?
It's going to be done in just a couple minutes. We're almost done. Do you want to leave? You can leave. Nobody will be mad. Okay. Okay, in Connecticut, they just approved carrying tasers. Should I carry also? I hate to carry two things to defend yourself. Last time to defend it. You know, MP, what I would encourage is pepper spray and a gun. Frankly, stun guns don't really work. Tasers, you only got one shot, which is just not enough. So I think a gun for a lethal situation, right? And pepper spray just sucks. Do you remember when you guys pepper sprayed me?
Oh.
Tell everybody that story when you guys sprayed me with pepper spray. Just tell them what you remember. Like, what happened after you guys sprayed me with pepper spray? What did Dad do? Talk in the mic.
I'm going to tell the Vaseline about.
Tell him.
Wait, I forgot all of it.
So Dad cried. I was like, call your mom. Call Mom. I was like dumping gallons of milk on my face. It didn't work. I read on these Antifa blogs, you're supposed to put like Metamucil, like anti-whatever. So I put that. None of it works. It sucked. It was horrible. So if you have to pepper spray a bad guy in a self-defense situation, it's going to work. The best pepper spray, Wayne, in my opinion, is the Saber pepper gel with tear gas. So you guys can watch the YouTube video of the kids pepper spraying me. The first pepper spray was the first time I got sprayed was just a regular pepper spray. And it hurt, but I could still function. When Lincoln sprayed me with the Saber pepper gel with the tear gas, it like overwhelmed my system. And I was freaking done. I was done, man. So yeah, it was no joke. Canik Bill, convicted felon cannot carry a bullet or be around a gun in Florida. They can be around a gun. They cannot have a gun in their possession. So yeah, they're not allowed to touch ammunition, a firearm of any kind. But let's say like Canik Bill, let's say I'm a convicted felon, but you're a licensed Florida concealed carry permit holder, and me and you are buddies, right? We're friends. We're allowed to hang out with each other as long as that firearm is on your body because you are legally allowed to possess it. Now, where it gets very complicated is when it's like a husband and a wife. The husband's a felon, wife is not, and the wife wants to be able to keep a gun in the car or something like that. In what I tell all of my students, if a woman's going to have the spouse is going to have a gun and the other spouse is a felon, the gun needs to be on your body. Never in your purse, never in the car. It's just way too dangerous. Something like that. How was the shower after? Wyatt, the shower after getting pepper sprayed was one of the dumbest things that I've ever done. The water makes it 1,000 times worse, and it got all over my testicles. Balls.
The Vaseline.
What about Vaseline? I didn't do nothing with Vaseline.
Yeah, you did. You put Vaseline all over you.
Did I? I put Pepto-Bismol. You know what that is? That's the stuff you drink when your stomach is sore. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was in so much pain. I was like, that makes sense. Antacid. This is like pepper. I don't know. Give me some Pepto-Bismol. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it was horrible. We're friends already. Sheepdog for life. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Brian. So meaning black powder, antique, stuff like that. Sure. I know they can't do modern stuff. Yep. Let's see. Wawa is a convenience store food place created by the Mooney cult, founded by Reverend Sung Yu Moon. Okay. I don't know that. I think it's very smart. They definitely kind of had a dynamic shift of the gas station world. Jumpman says 15 round mag for your Hellcat yet? Nope. I haven't been buying gun stuff. I've been pretty busy doing other things. I've got some guns to go buy. So yeah, I need to go check it out. Yeah, there's a video of all of this pepper spray, the taser story. I bought like 3 or 4 tasers or stun guns and let them do it. Another video that we're going to do, Kyle at Bunker Depot has the pepper ball gun We're going to let them pepperball me and see how painful that is. And then he also bought a real taser, like the ones the cops use. I think we're going to let them taser me too. I know it's going to hurt. I know it's going to suck. Bad, right? But Dad's got to do it. I got to do it for the fans, right?
Is it like the cop taser?
The ones the cop use. Would that be funny?
Some people on TikTok, like the military people, they got shot with one.
Got shot with one? Yeah.
Like every time.
Should we shoot you with it? Is that okay?
No.
What if I give you like $5?
No.
No?
You have to pay me like more than $100.
What if I give you $10,000? Still no. Oh my gosh. Okay. Riding the lightning. Yep. Okay. Cool. Nothing violent. Need to see that video. We want to see Ryan in pain. Wow. Thanks, Ting Ting. Thanks, Ting Ting. I appreciate that. I'm sure Tiffany likes to see me in pain. Let's see. Do you think Florida will ever pass permitless carry? Yeah, like I've said it lots of times. I think it's a given. I think the only question about constitutional carry in Florida is when. I do think it'll happen because I think more and more conservatives that are running for office are going to run with that as part of their, pitch, their promise to Floridians. And I think eventually it'll just happen. Okay, I've heard the drive stun is worse than the prongs on those. Okay, interesting. We'll try that. Ryan in pain sounds like a live stream event. Okay, wow. Screw all of you. All these people are saying they want to see me in pain. I think that's pretty mean. You want to know what we should do and we should live stream? We should make Mom get out of bed. You guys want to see somebody in pain? Just tell Tiffany, stand up real quick. And she's like, That'd be pretty funny, right? You need to go as Buck. I agree, Dustin. I think it would be best. I think it would be best if we did it as Buck.
Dad, tell him what.
I know, Katora. I know you guys. What?
What we did to your truck.
Okay, so I was at the range. What day was this? I was at the range Saturday. And when I finished shooting, I went and got in my truck. And there was a note stuffed into my windshield wiper. And I was like, oh, what the hell is this? So, anytime you see a note on your vehicle, you're like, oh, somebody backed into my vehicle. There's some massive dent or something. So I get out. I get it. It's a napkin. And it says, what does it say?
I forgot. I have no clue what it said. It's a dope truck toothpick.
Yeah, so it says, you got a dope truck toothpick. And I was like, oh, man, somebody, one of my fans must have seen my truck, noticed it. And they must have seen the old videos and they wrote it. And then I came home and the kids are all like giggling. Hee. Did anything happen at the range? And I'm like, not really. What are you guys all giggling about? And they're like, we were driving by the gun range with Auntie and we saw your truck. So we wrote a little note. Did you think it was that funny? What would have been funnier is if you guys would have taken my truck and moved it somewhere else. Like somebody stole it.
But we don't have your keys.
But that's the point. You got to have my keys. You got to have another copy of the keys or whatever and steal it. Yeah. You are glutton for punishment. Yep. All right, guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me and Jax. Let's see. Exploring the unknown. They're pushing to post semi-automatic rifles and detachable magazines on the NFA list. It was introduced to the Senate. Yeah, they just keep doing this kind of crap. They're idiots. We all know this will never stop criminals from doing criminal, evil stuff. We know that the first time around with the gun, what was it called? With the Firearm Public Safety Act, which was passed in 1994, that was the first federal assault weapons ban. Some of the biggest mass shootings that happened at the end of that federal assault weapons ban. Criminals don't care. Criminals do bad stuff. So I just lost my co-host. Yep. No, I haven't seen any text on that. What do I think about PSA kits? Palmetto State Armory is awesome. Pretty much everything they do is absolutely amazing. So you really can't go wrong with them. Thoughts on a second gun buying spree and another ammo dry spell due to the Wuhan variants? Will there be another record-breaking Knicks background marathon? I don't know, Will. the last year's like big gun push, I think COVID started it, and there was definitely a ramp up with COVID because there was a fear of food not being on the shelves and stuff like that. And it was very scary in the beginning, right? But it was also perpetrated because of all the riots, all the violence, and the media wanting to get Trump out of office. So they just played on a continuous loop all the violence and then blaming it on Trump. The violence is still happening, but the media is not showing it because now it looks bad on Biden, right? So I just think it's going to be different. I don't know if there'll be a big run up. And I also think most Americans know that COVID is not that big of a deal, that most people are not going to die from this. So anyway, Remington just reopened the factory. Can't remember which state, but it's supposed to be a game changer. Yeah, the crappy part is that they're going to get sued again. They're going to file for bankruptcy again. It's just a matter of time. Might be 5 years, 10 years. But this is like a ever-going cycle with these firearm manufacturers. They're under so much pressure by the gun control community that they just have all these frivolous nonsense lawsuits. And it's just constant battles. And eventually these companies say, you know what, I'm tapping out, right? Like, you got to think. These are very successful, very wealthy entrepreneurs that own these businesses or that are funding these businesses. And eventually they just deal with so much crap. They're like, listen, why am I investing $200 million into Remington or whatever it is, dealing with a bunch of freaking problems nonstop? I'm just going to go buy an apartment building, make the same amount of money, and deal with 1,000% less problems. And I think that's what happens. I think these business people just get tired of the nonsense and just say, I'm just tapping out. I'm going to go to a different industry because this is just too much. COVID won't kill as many people, but sure, filling up hospitals. Yep, I agree. It's definitely a real virus. People are definitely getting sick, but I just think it's getting abused. It's getting abused, and the scare tactic is frankly working. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Richard. Arbitrary rules do not change there's a great quote in my book. I believe it is from, I actually don't know who it's from. Shoot. Okay, I can't find it fast enough. But it basically says that bad guys don't care about the law. And the only way to change the mind of a bad guy is to motivate them with a gun. And that is the truth. I think it was Jeff Cooper that said it. The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is to make sure that they know there are good people in society that are ready and willing to stop you with that gun. So with that, we're gonna end this live stream. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate you. Have a great night. Do you have anything to say, Jax?
Bye, sheepdog.
Bye, sheepdogs. Have a great night. Be safe. Peace.